With the sixth pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Daniel Jones, quarterback, Duke.
So they do love a quarterback.
A high draft pick, a successor to Eli Manning, a future franchise quarterback. From all that to being cut, to being picked up by the Vikings, now people wonder whether or not he should even be in the league, if he should be learning, and I quote, Chinese, buddy. But where does he go now? Well, the Colts just picked him up. And am I going to be a biased Colts fan and analyze his career? True! Daniel Jones went to college at Duke. Daniel wasn't even that good in college. They saw someone who looked like Eli Manning and said, that's our quarterback. He was underwhelming in college, and he was drafted early, which a lot of Giants fans were upset about. But he had an alright year, but he got drafted by the Giants in the first round. Like I said in the intro, he was drafted to become the successor to Eli Manning. And 2020 was an alright year. Same with 2021. But 2022 was, that was a breakout year for Daniel Jones. Guy in 2022, I'm not going to lie. And that was peak life back then. Daniel Jones was really a respectable quarterback. Like, you could go up to people and say, who's in your top 15 quarterbacks? And, they list them and they go, Daniel Jones. And you could look at them without laughing. Of course, now you wouldn't take him seriously. But he was once considered the better upper half of quarterbacks. And it really makes you wonder, what happened? Well, to start and see what happened, we have to go back to 2019. So his most touchdowns was actually in 2019. He ended up throwing 24 touchdowns that year. But besides that, he led every other category in 2022 with rushing yards and with interceptions. He had the least amount of interceptions that year for him. And things were going really great if you were a Giants fan. You were happy for the first time since, I don't know, the Odell catch or something. You would go to bed, dare I say, optimistic. And things are looking great. You're going into the playoffs, and I know what you're thinking. Daniel Jones choked in the playoffs. But no, he won a playoff game in Minnesota. He would soon be going there a few years later, kind of ironic. But he won a playoff game. The Giants won. The Giants, the bottom feeders in the NFL, won a playoff game. And you thought, could this be heaven? And it was, for a little bit. You had Saquon on your team. But you go to 2023, and you gave Daniel Jones, a little bit of a contract. Oh my, 4 years, $160 million? I knew it was big, but New York. This is the second worst thing to ever happen to your city. It's a good decision at the end of the day. It was not. 2023, the man gets injured. Your team sucks again, New York. But at the end of the day, injuries, great expectations, and just a lack of help from others surrounding him, Daniel Jones was on his way out of the league, it seemed like. He was playing horrible. He had no one to help him. The only player that was of service was now gone. And his final game was that Germany game. And wow, what a horrible way to end it off in Germany in that overtime loss. Really the second worst thing to ever happen in Germany. But I couldn't believe it. Daniel Jones, the quarterback we all thought was, respectable enough to be a starter, was now a backup in Minnesota. Very cold. And now, fast forward to 2025. It is free agency. And the Colts need a quarterback to compete with the great Anthony Richardson. No, Anthony. But anyways, am I biased of Anthony Richardson just because I watched him get drafted and I believe in him more than any other quarterback ever? Of course not. The Colts did decide to go with Daniel Jones as their competition. In 2025, we're talking about competition and Daniel Jones in the same sentence. But hear me out. Not biased. I can already hear you commenting. I really like this pick. And before you say it, I know this is different than Joe Flacco, Sam Ellinger, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Jacoby Brissett, Brian Hoyer, Nick Foles, and so on. This is a steal. But listen, Indiana Jones, sick nickname, can become not elite, but at least what he was in 2022, whatever you might say that can be. And do I think Anthony Richardson is our guy? 1,000,000%. I really don't think Daniel Jones is going to put up a huge fight, but we've seen these big progressions of quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, the Baker Mayfield, who else? Just all these quarterbacks have had a big resurgence in their careers, and who's to say Daniel Jones can't do that? I mean, he looks like he could, he's Eli Manning enough. But Daniel Jones, let's be honest, has he ever had a great roster surrounding him? Before you say, Saquon Barkley's pretty good. Saquon Barkley is pretty good. But we've seen that before. A running back can't carry a quarterback. They two different sections, really. I mean, you could ride the running back, but, you can't really depend on him all the time. And if your O-line's good, how good does your running back really, what really matters if your running back is good or not if your O-line sucks? Listen, Colts have a decent O-line, don't at me, and we have Jonathan Taylor, which is really in the same league with Saquon Barkley. I know the Eagles have their O-lines out of this world, but Saquon and Jonathan as players, they're both really, really good. Colts have Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, 3 receivers who all went over 900 yards, which is insane. We have a real defense that will make sure, Daniel's not trailing by 30 before, lunchtime. So, yes, I do think that Daniel Jones is not where he wants to be. And I don't think he'll ever be really where he wanted to be. But is he serviceable? I think so. Is he, dare I say, good? Who's to say? But I don't think he's unredeemable. So at the end of the day, Daniel Jones sucks. But he has the capability to not suck as bad as people think. Thank you for watching. And Anthony Richardson will be the starter. I love you.